Hey Clashers, Nehemiah here. We're going to be taking a look at more Guild Clash, but mostly focusing on the defenses. So these were my attacks pretty much for the week. But again, let's take a look at this. So let's see what people did versus me. A-Dog was able to KO me from the elites. We're going to look at a couple of these attacks in more detail. I'm not going to cut them off this time. I'm going to talk about how you can go ahead and try and battle tougher opponents. So let's go ahead and take a look at AK Fever. He's the first one who hit me, so if you don't feel that you can KO their heroes, you gotta do something like this if you have to attack them. So again, the Arctic Lord, he waits, goes ahead, uses the Rage spell, pulls all my heroes over, then he drops everybody on the opposite side. And then, to give him a little bit extra survivability, he uses the Arctic Lord Divine, which of course makes his Arctic Lord immune. So that basically gives him a bunch of free tank time, and then the Arctic Lord will of course die with my whole team attacking it, and then he makes it as far as he can make it, going the other way. You see there, some of my heroes, did decent amount of damage, but again, it's not really about doing damage to the heroes, it's just about doing damage to the buildings. Alright, so that's one attack style. You gotta do something like that. Arctic Lord, Ambrosia can also do that because she becomes immune. Let's see here, what are we gonna take a look at? Similar attacks from JL. We got Missy. Let's see what she did here. So she probably went head on. Oh, yeah, this is when I was doing my El Dorado videos, and so I know that my Witch does not have a weapon, neither does my Berserker, but that's okay. So, she goes head on right here, so we'll see how that goes. Looks like she was able to blast through my Landslide, which is pretty good. That's good that she was able to blast through that there properly. And now let's see what I've got going on. I still have my Witch there, but there's those allied wins, and her Abyss Demon is healing like crazy. You see they're healing for, 23.6k on all the other heroes, which is pretty sweet. So there you have it. Her team is going against, it's really only my Ambrosia and my guild bot that's left. But her team is going down. So you see the Ambrosia there is still whacking. It looks like my Ambrosia's throwing lightning bolts, and my Ambrosia was able to take them out. So, well, that's, wow, whoops. I meant to look at the damage there. But there you see, there's one, one defense where if you got an Ambrosia beating on them in the middle, it's eventually going to wear them down. Which was what I was able to do. Unfortunately, I didn't have weapons. I did have weapons for this A-Dog attack, it looks like. So he's going to do the same exact thing. That's how everyone attacked on me for the Elite, so I'm not sure if they were sharing attacks, but A-Dog does something a little bit different. So he goes ahead and drops heroes all around the base, which was different from the first attack you saw. And because what you're looking to do is provide the maximum amount of damage, you actually want to minimize the run time of your heroes. So it's pretty smart what he does. He goes ahead and drops them all around, meaning that his basically you're trying to do as much damage to the buildings. So the more buildings you can hit, minimizing the time your heroes and mercenaries are running, the better. So that's how he went ahead and KO'd me. You see, he basically did no damage to any of my heroes. And that's that. That's one way to KO bases. I don't think that strategy works quite as well if I was a little bit stronger. Let's go ahead and take a look in terms of my defenses at least. So let's take a look at Tiju. Alright, so he goes ahead and drops 2 heroes, and then, okay, so he drops the Great Sage. I personally would have recommended he started the Divine of the Great Sage maybe, but that's okay. He's got his heroes going down. He's trying to take me out. It looks like I have a couple heroes down here. But most of my heroes are up on the other side. So let's see how Tiju's going. His Landslide is getting in there. He is getting close to my Ambrosia. It's a little bit dangerous. I have some of my heroes, but my Landslide is going to teleport back over, I believe. Nope, he doesn't. My Landslide stomped in the middle of nowhere. That's silly. Alright, so he's doing fairly well at this point. Most of his team is attacking my Ambrosia, but there's a problem that I think is going to happen to him. And he just got Chaigong. That was his problem. Alright, so that's one dangerous thing. If you're going to go ahead and use that strategy, Tijo, I'd recommend that you try and get that Wonton over there. So I maybe drop somewhere in the middle. Especially because, you're not going to be able to KO a base if you've used pretty much all your skills, your spells, your raid skills. And then, he goes ahead and comes over and divines you and you're dead. Alright, so let's go ahead and I think that was the same way I attacked him. Let's check that out real quick, just at the end of this video here. So I think this is how I attacked Tiju. This is one way to deal with Landslide. I'm going to point this out. So I actually drop my Landslide, pull everybody over, then drop my Great Sage on the other side. I start the Divine of my Great Sage, pull the Landslide, and drop everybody else. And so this is kind of a neat way. It definitely helps with silencing the Witch. Because you're going to pull her over, and she's going to be one of the closer people, especially if you have a Landslide there. You can stomp, kill the melee, and then that will leave the excuse me, the Witch. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up here. Panda's an amazing hero for Guild Clash. He does so much damage to bases with his Rage skill. He can hit probably 20 to 30 buildings, and my Wonton right now, even if he's under allied wins, it's even more, but he does about 3 to 4 million damage to a base every time he uses his skill. That is insane. No other hero is even close to that in terms of AoE damage, so I love him in Guild Clash, and there it is. That's pretty cool. Tiju, he attacked me the same way, so that's one way I go ahead and deal with Landslides many times. I just drop him on the other side. I'm able to clear up his base here and get 1,700 points, which is pretty sweet. He was in the blue section there of the I think that's the third ring out. So that was a good attack, and that's it. So good luck to you, and happy clashing.